In this video, you will hear tips about how to get through rough financial times, including my own, and also how to help others. Stick with me till the end of this video because I put together two additional lists. One with ways to earn a little extra money when times get tight, and another with ways to quietly help others without making them feel embarrassed. I've been on both sides, the one who needed help and the one who gave it. I'm hoping this video helps someone weather their storm a little steadier. If you're in a rough spot right now, or see one coming, whether it's your wallet or someone close to you, here's my first piece of front porch advice. Those of us who had parents make it through the Great Depression were more than likely to know how to be thrifty. My parents constantly looked over their shoulder in case hard times like that ever chased them again. Because their family struggled early in their lives, they learned to stretch every penny. When things were good, they still scrimped and saved, so that when things got rough, we didn't have to go without. We had a huge garden. Mom worked hard canning and freezing every vegetable she could to save money at the grocery store. I remember when Dad got laid off one year. He went to visit a relative in Columbus and loaded up his truck to give her firewood because he knew she had a fireplace. Her neighbor saw him unloading and asked him to bring more. Next thing you know, he's delivering wood all over that street, earning extra money he never expected. He used that story to teach us, when times are tough, find something someone needs, even if it's just hauling wood. At our house, leftovers got reinvented, clothes were handmade, Dad was a workaholic, and we learned how to save for hard times. Despite those teachings early in life, I've hit some real hard patches. Life throws curveballs you couldn't prepare for, even if you were batting 1,000. Today, most people don't have savings for the easy times, let alone the hard ones. Housing costs and groceries are sky high, and wages, they just haven't kept up. So start stretching what you've got. Cut back on your utility usage by easing up on the AC in the summer. Layer up and turn the heat down in the winter. Cancel streaming apps and subscriptions that you don't really need. Brew your coffee at home instead of buying it every morning. For example, a $2.50 cup of coffee 5 days a week adds up to $650 a year. That's money that could go towards groceries or bills. Throw in that snack you bought while you were there, but really didn't need. That's another $650. That's $1,300 saved. It may make your rent or even a house payment for one of the months of the year. It's estimated an average family can save $13,000 a year from cooking at home rather than eating out. Yes, it's more work. But wouldn't that $13,000 come in handy when facing hard times? A big old-fashioned pot of beans could be made for less than $3, and the leftovers can be frozen, reheated, eaten plain, served over a bed of rice, or eaten in a wrap for variety. Even adding just a few cheaper meals each week can feed the family well and stretch your dollars to help prepare for bad times. If you're not in the middle of the hard times, invest in a vacuum sealer and some large aluminum pans with lids. Spend one of your days off cooking, what I call large, a few different meals that can be vac sealed or put in the pans and stored in your freezer. You will soon have a wide variety of food to just heat up, and your family is fed with much less work each day. Works out great for those nights when you're just too exhausted to prepare a full meal. The savings will surprise you, especially if you eat out often. More than likely, once you see the amount saved, you will develop a habit of eating at home throughout the week. Take control back of your finances by taking a good hard look to find items that are eating away your income. And save what you can while you still can. It may make enough difference to get you through the rough time. When I hit rock bottom, I've never felt more alone. I isolated myself due to my pride. I didn't want others to know just how broke I was. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't talk to anyone. I just stayed at home and worried about tomorrow. That isolation, man, that was a huge mistake. This is not the time one needs to feel alone. This is the time to talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your neighbors, go to the park, sit on the porch swing. So what if anyone knows you're broke? Would you look down on a friend going through a hard time? No, you wouldn't. And anyone who would, you probably don't need them in your life anyway. You might be broke, but you are not broken. Find out what programs your state and community have that can help you. That is what it was designed for, to help people through the rough patches. I can't promise help will come. I can't promise help will always be there from the government either. Things are changing. But while it is there, reach out. Don't be ashamed to seek help. If you're one of the lucky ones doing okay, I'm so glad. I've been there too, and trust me, it's much easier to be the giver than the recipient. You can always help someone else, even if it's only lending a kind ear. My dad used to tape envelopes of cash to the mailboxes of struggling neighbors. No name, just help. That envelope might have meant the difference between empty cabinets and full bellies, or another month's rent or house payment, depending on their level of need. Leave a box of food on someone's porch. Tape a gas card to their door. Put a box with a vacuum sealer bags, beans and rice on their porch, or some aluminum pans with lids and ingredients for lasagna. Or just ask, how can I help? And listen, don't judge. Chances are that person has already blamed themselves through a month of Sundays already. They don't need blamed or shamed. They need help. Let them know it's no shame to apply for food stamps or other programs that are in place to help people in times of need. From workaholic to becoming debt-free to having too many zeros. I worked a lot of overtime most of my life. My record for 1 week was 119 hours, and I don't recommend that to anyone. My last job, I was working a minimum of 84 hours per week, made good money, and saved a lot of it. Since there were plenty of jobs in my line of work and I had a good work history and training, I wasn't worried about my finances. So I used my savings and paid off all my debt, my vehicle, my mortgage, with the plan on working another 2 years. I was planning to save all my income for those 2 years for my retirement because I knew I couldn't make it on Social Security alone. But life had other plans for me. Through the years, I had several health conditions that crept up. The last 2 years I worked, it was creating a bit of difficulties for me doing my job, but I managed through. Then, without much warning, my health suddenly worsened and prevented me from working anymore. I had zero income and zero options for creating income. Because of paying off all my debt, I only had a small amount of savings. So, yes, you can certainly be blindsided. I used the remainder of my life savings to keep my utilities paid and food in my cabinets until it was all gone. My health conditions prevented me from doing much of anything. It didn't take long until my bank balance matched my income. Zero. Too many zeros in my life. Income, zero. Chance of working again, zero. Items in my cabinets, zero. My bank balance, zero. I applied for Social Security. It was hard to admit that I wasn't capable of earning a living anymore. It was a very bitter pill to swallow. But there I was, flat broke, no potential income in sight, and my shelves were bare. I had to make a decision, one that no one in my immediate family ever had to make. There is no way to explain how difficult it was to make that call. It was the hardest call I ever made. I was so choked up I couldn't hardly get the words out. I needed help. I had no food left, but a few saltine crackers. I will never forget that phone call, and I will never forget the kindness of the lady on the other end of the phone. She was able to help, not only with a monthly amount, but also with an emergency food stamp payment. I hung up the phone and cried for an hour or two. One, because I never thought that I would ever need to ask anyone for help, and two, because she was able to. I only stayed on the food stamps for a little over a year, and I honestly don't know what I would have done without them. They helped me get through the toughest part. When I came off them, I sold my truck, bought an older, cheaper car, and used the money to have people make repairs to my home. Once the repairs were done, I sold it and downsized into a mobile home because it's almost impossible to live on Social Security alone. Even with doing that, it's still a struggle. So don't be afraid for asking for help, and don't be afraid of downsizing to try to make ends meet. Please check on your people and circle back to them. They may need a kind ear or a box of food. You are stronger than you think, and if you don't believe it, repeat this every day. I am strong. Use positive reinforcement on yourself. Get the negative self-blame out of your head. Write all the negative things down on a piece of paper and tear it into 1,000 pieces and throw it in the trash. Take a deep breath and enjoy the freedom of letting it go. Just a couple more things before the lists. Please share this video. You never know who needs to hear it, especially in the economy today. Also, leave a comment if you have other tips people can benefit from. My channel is new. I could use subscribers, but only if you see the benefit of the wisdom or stories from Hocking Hill's Granny. Now the lists. I sure hope your storm doesn't last long, and I hope we all remember a little kindness goes a long way, especially when times get hard. The lists are available for download in the video description. Thank you for taking the time to listen and opening your heart to others. I sure hope this helps someone that needs it. Hocking Hill's Granny, thank you.